Peace and grace to your heart, beloved child of God. You did not stumble across this video by accident. There's something in your spirit that knows. Love is calling your name. And if you've been waiting, praying, or even doubting whether true, love exists for you today. I want to tell you something straight. Your soulmate's confession is already in motion. Before I even dive into this teaching, I need you to do something for yourself. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on the notifications, because what you are about to hear will shift how you see love forever. And while you are here, let me ask you this. Go down to the comments and share one thing you desire most in your next season of love, because speaking it out has power, and it sets intention into the atmosphere. And if this teaching impacts you and feeds your soul, I want you to hit that super thanks button, because that support allows me to keep pouring this kind of truth into your life. Now hear me clearly. Love is not an accident. Scripture says he sets the lonely in families, and that means God does not leave you wandering in circles, questioning if you will ever be chosen. He has already written your story, and that story is unfolding right now, whether you can see it or not. Your soulmate is in preparation. Their heart is stirring with words they have not yet released. A confession, a declaration, a truth that will not only surprise you, but will shift the direction of your future. And the reason you are here today is because your spirit is being prepared to recognize it. But here is the danger. Most people miss it. They sabotage love before it arrives. They call the waiting season rejection. They call distance abandonment. They numb themselves instead of preparing themselves. And when love finally knocks, they are too closed off to receive it. That is why I am going to walk you through 7 powerful truths, 7 revelations that will align your heart, sharpen your discernment and position you to not only see your soulmate's confession when it comes, but to embrace it fully. Stay with me, because by the end of this teaching, you will feel lighter, freer, and more prepared for the love that God has already designed for you. Comment below. Subscribe to Daily Motivation Prayers now. Leave a super thanks if this word feeds your heart, and let's go deep into this message together. Number 1. Healing your heart before their confession. If you are going to receive your soulmate's confession, you must first allow your own heart to heal. Too many people want the promise without preparing their soul. They want the fruit of love without dealing with the brokenness that keeps them blind to it. Scripture tells us, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. That means if your heart is clogged with bitterness, resentment, or fear, then the flow of love is blocked. Your soulmate could pour out their deepest confession, but if your heart is still carrying wounds from your past, you will hear it through the filter of pain, not through the clarity of truth. This is why healing is not optional. Healing is the doorway that allows you to receive love without suspicion. Healing is what allows you to stand still and trust when your mind wants to run. Healing gives you the strength to believe that love is not here to betray you, but to build you. Many of you have been in cycles of disappointment. You gave your all, and it was taken for granted. You trusted, and you were betrayed. You prayed, and it felt like silence was the only answer. But understand this, every scar you carry can either become a wall or a witness. A wall will keep love out. A witness will testify that even after the pain, you are still standing, and you are ready to receive something greater. So hear me clearly. Before their confession comes, you must go before God and allow Him to cleanse your heart. Forgive those who hurt you, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Release the past, not because it was fair, but because carrying it will only choke the love that is on its way. Pray over your own heart daily, asking God to replace fear with faith and doubt with discernment. When your soulmate comes forward, they are not coming to heal your wounds. They are not coming to fix what you refuse to surrender. They are coming to build with you, to partner with you, to love you freely. And the only way you can meet that love with open arms is if your heart is already whole, enough to hold it. Number 2, discernment over desire. One of the greatest challenges in preparing for your soulmate's confession is learning to separate discernment from desire. Desire is powerful, but by itself it can blind you. Desire says, I want this now, I feel this now, I need this now. But discernment says, let me test this, let me weigh this, let me see if this is aligned with God's will. Scripture tells us to test the spirits to see whether they are from God. That means not every person who shows interest in you is your soulmate. Not every confession of love is truth. Not every word that sounds romantic is meant for your future. Discernment is the filter that allows you to recognize what is real from what is counterfeit. Think about it. How many times have you been pulled into relationships that looked right at first, but left you emptier than before? That is desire without discernment. It is chasing the feeling without checking the foundation. And when that happens, your heart pays the price. This is why preparation is not just about being ready emotionally, but spiritually. You must be able to hear beyond words. You must be able to sense when someone's spirit matches yours or when it does not. You must be able to detect whether their confession is born out of genuine love or temporary need. Here is the truth. Your soulmate's confession is not just going to sound good. It is going to feel aligned. It will carry peace, not confusion. It will bring clarity, not chaos. It will confirm what God has already whispered to your spirit, not compete with it. But if you are only chasing desire, you will settle for what sounds good instead of what is God sent. Discernment keeps you from grabbing what looks close but is not yours. Discernment helps. You wait when your flesh is screaming to settle. Discernment gives you confidence to say no to the wrong thing so you can say yes to the right thing. So pray for discernment. Ask God to sharpen your vision so that when the confession arrives, you will not just be flattered, you will be certain. And certainty is what gives you the courage to step fully into the love that is designed for you. Number 3, the power of patience in love. One of the hardest lessons in preparing for your soulmate's confession is patience. We live in a culture that demands everything instantly, and when love takes time, we assume something is wrong. But Scripture reminds us love is patient, and patience is not weakness, it is strength under control. Patience does not mean sitting idly with no growth. Patience means becoming who you need to be while trusting that your soulmate is doing the same. It means refusing to rush into counterfeits just to soothe your loneliness. It means believing that God's timing is not delayed, but divinely arranged. Think about this. If you force something before it is ready, you destroy it. If you pick fruit before it ripens, you lose the sweetness it was meant to carry. The same is true in love. When you try to pull someone into confessing before they are ready, you don't get authenticity, you get pressure. And love, born out of pressure, will not last. Patience is not easy, because your heart longs for connection. You see others moving into relationships, and you ask, why not me? You replay the nights you cried, the prayers you whispered, and the waiting feels heavy. But understand this, waiting is not wasted. It is warfare. Every moment you wait with faith, you are declaring that you trust God's hand more than your own. You are saying, I would rather wait for the right love than rush into the wrong one. Patience also protects you. When you wait, you give God room to reveal intentions. You give time for masks to fall off. You give space for real character to show, and that saves you from heartbreak that impatience would have invited. So when your soulmate's confession comes, you will know it is right. Not because it happened fast, but because it happened in fullness. It will feel steady, not shaky. It will feel complete, not forced. And you will look back and realize The waiting was worth it because it prepared you to recognize what counterfeit love could never offer. Be patient, not passive. Be patient, but keep preparing your heart, your mind, and your spirit, because patience is not punishment, it is positioning, and when the confession arrives, you will be ready to receive it without fear and without hesitation. Number 4. Releasing control and trusting God's timing. One of the greatest obstacles to receiving your soulmate's confession is the need to control outcomes. When you try to force love on your own terms, you end up chasing what was never meant. For you, control says, I must know when, how, and through whom love will arrive. But faith says God already knows, and his timing is perfect. Scripture declares, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. This is not a suggestion. It is a command, because our understanding is limited while his wisdom is unlimited. You only see the surface, but God sees the whole picture. You only see the delay, but God sees the preparation. You only see silence, but God sees the perfect moment when hearts align. Control is birthed out of fear. Fear that if you do not manage everything, you will miss it. Fear that if you let go, you will be forgotten. Fear that if you trust God fully, he might withhold what you desire. But hear me clearly, fear lies, while faith liberates. Love will not arrive through control. It will arrive through surrender. When you release control, you free yourself from anxiety. You no longer chase signs out of desperation. You wait for confirmation with confidence. You no longer force conversations out of insecurity. You allow connections to unfold naturally. You no longer panic about timing, because you understand that delay is not denial. Your soulmate's confession is not something you can manipulate. You cannot script their words or force their readiness. What you can do is prepare your heart to meet them when God's timing brings you together, and that is more powerful than any attempt to control outcomes. So release it. Release the timelines you created in your head. Release the pressure you placed on yourself and others. Release the idea that you must be the one to make everything happen. Surrender your love story back into the hands of the one who authored it. When you do this, you will find peace in the waiting and strength in the unknown. You will discover that trust is not weakness, it is alignment. And when the confession arrives, it will not just feel like love, it will feel like divine timing, because the hand of God will be all over it. Number 5. Becoming the answer to what you're asking for. Many people pray for love while refusing to become love themselves. They cry out for a soulmate's confession while living unprepared to handle it when it arrives. But Scripture reminds us, you will reap what you sow. If you want a love that is faithful, pure, and powerful, you must first allow those qualities to grow inside of you. Here is the truth. Your soulmate is not looking for perfection, but they are looking for readiness. They are not searching for someone who has it all together, but for someone who is becoming whole. Love requires capacity, and capacity comes from growth. If you are not growing, you cannot hold the weight of real love when it shows up. Ask yourself this honestly: are you the kind of person you are praying for? If you want loyalty, are you loyal? If you want kindness, are you kind? If you want depth, are you deep in your spirit or only surface level in your relationships? Because what you attract will often mirror who you are becoming. Becoming the answer means working on yourself, not from a place of insecurity, but from a place of responsibility. It means setting boundaries so that you stop tolerating what dishonors your worth. It means healing your mindset so you stop sabotaging yourself with fear and doubt. It means developing spiritually so that when love comes, you can cover it with prayer, not just passion. Your soulmate's confession is going to be powerful, but it is not magic. It will not erase your habits. It will not undo your brokenness. It will not carry what you refuse to release. That is your assignment now. to rise into the version of yourself that can partner with the love you are asking God to bring. When you become the answer, you shift from desperation to preparation. You stop begging for love to rescue you and start preparing to build love with someone who is also ready. This creates alignment, and alignment is what makes confessions last beyond emotions. So today, decide to grow. Invest in your healing. Invest in your purpose. Invest in becoming. Because when you do, your soulmate's confession will not just feel like an answered prayer, it will feel like confirmation that you are both ready to build the love you were designed for. Number 6. Recognizing real love versus counterfeit love. One of the greatest dangers before your soulmate's confession is the distraction of counterfeits. Counterfeit love looks real, feels exciting, and often shows up right before the real thing arrives. Why? Because the enemy loves to offer imitations that keep you bound in cycles of disappointment. Scripture says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And one of the ways he does this is by sending people who look like answers, but lead you into confusion. Counterfeit love takes from you without giving. Back, it demands without serving. It excites your emotions but empties your spirit. It offers passion without purpose and attraction without alignment. Real love, on the other hand, carries the fingerprint of God. It builds rather than breaks, it covers. Rather than exposes, it brings peace rather than chaos. It strengthens your purpose rather than distracts you from it. Real love carries fruit that lasts, while counterfeit love produces temporary highs, followed by deep lows. This is why you must be alert. If you are desperate, you will accept the counterfeit because it feels like relief, but discernment will help you see the difference. Real love will confirm your value, while counterfeit love will constantly make you question it. Real love will grow consistently, while counterfeit love will only show up when it benefits them. Real love will inspire growth, while counterfeit love will keep you stuck in cycles of compromise. Your soulmate's confession will not feel manipulative. It will not feel forced. It will not leave you drained. Instead, it will align with everything God has already been speaking into your life. It will bring stability, even in uncertainty, and clarity, even in mystery. So test the fruit of love before you call it real. Ask yourself, does this connection bring me closer to God, or does it pull me further away? Does this confession align with peace, or does it stir confusion? Does this love give me strength, or does it constantly drain me? These are the questions that reveal truth. Reject the counterfeit, no matter how tempting it looks, because the longer you hold on to what is fake, the longer you delay what is real. And when the real confession comes, you will know instantly, because it will feel like alignment, not manipulation, and it will carry God's presence, not just human passion. Number 7, preparing to receive and not just desire. Most people pray for love, but they do not prepare to receive it. They say, "God, send me my soulmate," but their life has no room for that blessing. They carry busyness, bitterness, or broken routines that block the very thing they are asking for. Scripture reminds us, enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch your curtains wide, do not hold back. Lengthen your cords, strengthen your stakes. This is a call to preparation. It means make space for the promise before it arrives. If you only desire but never prepare, you will miss what God has for you, because it will not fit into the life you currently live. Desire says, "I want." Love but preparation says, "I'm ready to hold it." Desire is emotional, but preparation is intentional. Ask yourself this: have you created space in your emotional life for someone else? Or are you still tangled in past ties and old memories? Have you created space in your daily rhythms to build a life with someone? Or are you still living in a way that only revolves around yourself? Have you created spiritual space through prayer and alignment? Or are you still trying to control everything without Surrender. Your soulmate's confession will not be light, it will be weighty. It carries commitment, responsibility, and vision. If you are not prepared, it will overwhelm you. If you are not prepared, you will question it. If you are not prepared, you might even reject what you have been waiting for. Preparation means healing yourself so you can love without fear. Preparation means growing in discipline so you can show up with consistency. Preparation means cultivating peace in your own soul so that you bring stability, not chaos, into the relationship. When you prepare, you become a container strong enough to carry the love that is coming. You become steady enough to stand when emotions fluctuate. You become ready enough to build, not just dream. And when your soulmate's confession arrives, it will not just feel like an answer to prayer. It will feel like the fulfillment of what you have been prepared to carry. So let's bring this full circle. We've been talking about the difference between desire and preparation. Desire says, I want love. Preparation says, I've made space for love to live here. Desire is emotional, but preparation is intentional. Desire waits for something to show up. Preparation builds the structure, so when it arrives, it doesn't slip through your fingers. Think of the scripture again. Enlarge the place of your tent, stretch your curtains wide, do not hold back. That's not just poetry, it's instruction. It's God saying, make room for what you've been praying for, expand your capacity, strengthen your foundation. If you only want but never prepare, the blessing can overwhelm you. Worse, you might even reject the very thing you've been asking for because it doesn't fit the life you're currently living. Preparation is practical. It looks like healing from past hurts so you don't carry bitterness into new love. It looks like building rhythms of discipline so your relationship has consistency instead of chaos. It looks like cultivating peace in your own soul so you bring stability instead of storm. When you prepare, you're not just waiting for someone else to show up. You're becoming a vessel strong enough to carry the weight of real love. And that's the point. Love isn't light. It comes with responsibility, with vision, with commitment. If you're not ready, you'll struggle under the weight, but if you are ready, you'll rise with it. That's why preparation matters. It transforms longing into lasting fulfillment. So here's my challenge to you. Take a hard look at your life. Where can you clear space emotionally, practically, and spiritually? What needs healing, adjusting, or surrendering so you're not just desiring, but truly prepared? Because when your soulmate's confession comes, it won't just feel like an answer to prayer. It will feel like the natural next step in the life you've already been preparing to live. If this message resonated with you, let's continue the conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments. How are you preparing your heart and your life for love? Make sure to subscribe to Daily Motivation Prayers so you don't miss the next part of this series. And if this teaching blessed you, consider tapping the Super Thanks button. Your support helps me keep pouring encouragement, wisdom, and truth into your journey. Love isn't just something to wish for, it's something to prepare for. Start preparing today,